Hello and welcome to my channel. I am the Western Viking and today I'll be doing a very unique video. I will be giving you a list of all the best historical movies and TV series in chronological order. 2 years ago I made a giant list of almost every single historical movie and TV series out there. I also did a lot of research on them to find out what year they were set in, and I continued to rank them all in chronological order. Since then, I watched hundreds of them and I separated the good ones from the bad ones. So, today I'll be starting off by presenting you with the first 5 spots on my list of the best historical movies and TV series in chronological order. The very first movie on the list is Dinosaur, and it is the movie that takes place the most far in the past, approximately 65 million years ago in the past. We know that because that is about the time the dinosaurs were going extinct. We see, for example, natural disasters that turn the land into a lifeless desert of death, thirst and starvation. This results in packs of surviving dinosaurs looking for new and better places to live. But on their journey to those fertile places, they encounter some carnivorous dinosaurs that are quite hungry as well. Also, the movie contains some small monkey-like mammals, which are supposed to represent the very far ancestors of humans. I found them a bit goofy, but the rest of the movie is actually surprisingly good. This movie may be made for children, but it is the only quality movie out there that takes place in the age of the dinosaurs. And you know what? When I rewatched it, it was still very enjoyable for adults as well. The story is good, the dinosaurs are well made, there are some spectacular camera shots in there, the music is beautiful, and the movie even won several awards. So my conclusion after watching it is overall a very enjoyable movie and a perfect start to our list. So on the number 1 spot on the list we have Dinosaur. Then after that we have the movie Alpha. After the age of the dinosaurs we have a big time leap and we find ourselves in prehistoric times now. It is approximately 20,000 BCE and we follow a nomadic tribe of early humans. We see, for example, how they hunt for food, we see them getting attacked and snatched in the night by big predators. We basically see how they survive and endure the rough conditions that those early humans had to deal with. Which makes for an interesting movie. When the tribe is hunting on a very big prehistoric bison, the son of the alpha male of the tribe falls off a ravine and he gets stuck on a ledge. The tribe wants to help him, but there is no way they can get to him, so unfortunately he gets left behind. Miraculously he survives though, and he gets off the ledge. If surviving those harsh times was tough for a tribe of early humans, it was even more tough for a child on his own, especially during those terrible winters. He struggles through it all in search for his tribe. On his way he meets an unlikely companion in a wolf, which he calls Alpha. So you could say that in this movie, that kid is basically the first human that starts domestication of the ancestor of dogs. This movie definitely makes for an intriguing watch and fits perfectly on our list. After the prehistoric times, we make another big time jump and we end up in the year 3067 BCE. This is when the movie The Scorpion King takes place. This movie takes place in the ancient times of the early human societies in the Middle East, like ancient Egypt, Nubia, Mesopotamia and Canaan, even before the pyramids were built. This on itself is an interesting time in history and there aren't too many movies out there to give us a glimpse into those times. The movie's main character is the last of the Akkadian assassins, played by The Rock. In his adventures, he also visits the old biblical city of Gomorrah. This movie actually was a spin-off movie for The Mummy Returns. They made a whole bunch of these Scorpion King movies, but besides this one, the sequels are really bad. This first Scorpion movie, however, is quite enjoyable. This is the only one that stars The Rock, and he does a good job in playing the role. The movie is funny, adventurous, and intriguing. The best thing about it is the setting and the props. This movie was made in 2002, in a time when movies didn't heavily rely on CGI, but actually built all the sets, went to the locations to shoot, and used practical effects as much as they could instead of tons of awful CGI. I like that. This makes the movie look good, and it gives it that authentic feeling like it is set in the very far past. This movie deserves its spot on the list. Next up is the movie Exodus: The Gods and Kings. This movie is set between 1300 BCE until about 1213 BCE. During this time, it was the time of ancient Egypt and at the height of the power of the ancient pharaohs. This movie is really good. It was directed by Ridley Scott. Ridley Scott is known for making many historical movies. With his historical movies, there is always a 50-50 chance of it being either an epic masterpiece or a failure and a mess. Luckily, this movie is one of his great historical movies. The look of the movie is beautiful. It really communicates the wealth and splendor of ancient Egypt. The acting is great as well. The movie stars actors like Christian Bale, Ben Kingsley and Joel Edgerton. I must say that last one did a really good job at playing Ramses II. He was very convincing as an ancient pharaoh. The story is good too. It is based off the biblical story of Moses leading the slaves out of Egypt. The movie does a great job at telling the story and portraying things like the plagues and the parting of the Red Sea. The movie also contains a nice battle scene. Ridley Scott is known for doing grand-scale battles in his movies, and this one is quite good too. What other movies do you know that have ancient Egyptians riding in battle on chariots? The movie is unique and it definitely deserves a spot on the list.
Ready yourselves!
Then we have number 5 on our list of the best historical movies and TV series in chronological order. This movie is another masterpiece and one of the very best historical movies out there. The movie Troy is set around 1250 BCE and it is based on the Ilias and the Odyssey of Homerus. It depicts the famous story of the Greeks infiltrating and sacking the city of Troy by hiding themselves in a giant horse that they gifted to the Trojans. This is one of these stories that lives on thousands of years after it happened and which still has influence on today's culture. For example, some viruses on computers are named a Trojan horse for infiltrating and damaging your PC. A weakness in, for example, a football team or the back of your foot is called an Achilles heel, referring to a major event in this story. The story is very important in history and this movie depicts it in the best way possible. The movie Troy is an actual masterpiece. Everything is on point. The sets, the costumes, the directing, the acting. Of course, this movie won several awards. The movie stars great actors like Brad Pitt, Orlando Bloom, Brian Cox, Diane Kruger, Sean Bean, and more great ones. Also, the many battle scenes in here are phenomenal. I would put this movie on the list any day. And so, we come to the end of part 1 of the list. The list is much longer and I have many more of these great historical movies to share with you guys. If you want to see part 2 of the best historical movies and TV series in chronological order, you can give the video a thumbs up. If you want to be notified when part 2 of my list releases, you can consider subscribing to the channel. Do you agree with these first 5 spots on the list? Let me know in the comment section below. Also, if you like historical and mythological stuff, you can watch some of my other interesting videos. I have some, for example, on Julius Caesar or on Fenrir the Great Wolf. If you like movies and TV series, you can also watch my reviews of, for example, Spider-Man No Way Home and the Book of Boba Fett. As always, thank you for watching and I'll see you on the next video. Bye!